Well, it's Monday, so it must be time for another State of Ragnarok Transcendence, number 8 with Debo. Hope you guys been doing since last week. Got a lot of good different tidbits and updates and things shifting towards the meta and stuff like that. I got a little bit more WoW action playing in the background. As always, if you're watching this link on the Reddit, there's a link to the video below at the bottom, below the playlist. There should be a link to the WoW if you want to watch the full 2 hours recorded and everything, nothing edited, just so people can get a feel for everything. But with that being said, welcome back. Make sure you guys are washing your hands, practicing social distancing, and only going out for the essentials. And that's all I got for you today. But in terms of what's going on in Ragnarok Transcendence, I must say that I'm quite happy where the economy's at. There is definitely a good market to make some decent money on the weapons that are coming from the fever fields and as well as the armors. I do feel a lot of people are not pricing things correctly. Either they're overpricing it, underpricing it, and some people are even forgetting certain zeros on certain items that are worth a lot of money. One of those items was a chainmail with max HP percentage increase, which was 7, and then like 400 HP. If you can ever get anything like that, you better sell for a good price, because that should be coveted by any knight or any saxator, because more HP and getting your life up to... Well, no. For a saxator is particularly good. For a knight, you might want neutral damage, because a lot of the way people are dealing with knights right now is just G-fisting them. And if you can survive that G-fist damage, then you kind of pretty much just nullify a monk. Speaking of knights, you guys know they're doing a lot of changes on the PTR. I do believe this week they're going to actually roll out the changes with the rebalancing, and I'm pretty sure they're going to offer some stat resets. If they offer some type of stat resets for these characters and these changes that are going on, make sure you guys pay a lot of attention about the following. Blessing, the change to it is actually going to add hit to the blessing. So make sure you're very wary of that. So, like, I think it's a total of 20 hit. So if you have a character that's doing Raidrix, you can actually drop maybe even another ancient mummy card. You can have a weapon that has plus hit, because usually the way it goes, if you get 80 dex, you can run with 1 mummy card, or you run basically hit, or you can run with 1 mummy card, hit on the weapon that's 25 or higher, I do believe, and then that leaves you 1 socket available for like a Hydra card, right? So after this change with the plus 20 hit, you probably can drop the dex by a monstrous amount. And you could do one of 2 things. You can keep your dex high and just take all the hit off your weapon. So you're gonna keep the 80 dex. That means you don't need hit on your weapon anymore, which means you can get like attack, you can get attack speed increase, you can get, I would recommend probably the attack speed increase or the attack increase damage on that weapon, and then you can look for a spear that maybe does damage to demi-human, and then put 2 Rager cards inside of the weapon and just do banana damage to a Rager, since that blessing is going to give you plus 20 hit. That's just food for thought. Or actually, before I get ahead of myself, let me think. If you kept your dex the same and you got the plus 20 hit, you could draw, because right now on my Holy Cross Crusader, the only thing I had on my weapon when I used to run it a lot is he had hit, and he had a mummy card, and he had a Hydra card. With this plus 20 hit, you could take out a mummy card and run double Hydra, and then just have plus hit on the weapon. So you could put 1 mummy card inside your weapon and have attack, or what you could do is you could run like 2 Hydra, then have hit on the weapon, or you can get attack speed. And if you get the attack speed, you could just run, double Hydra and then 1 mummy. So there's a lot of different things you could do now with that 20 hit being freed up. 20 hit is a huge amount. So just when you guys are resetting, if you have a class that has a high dex that's on a swordsman, or for a crusader or a knight, you might want to readjust your hit and look more into it, because you only really need just enough dex to hit what you're trying to farm with for the end game. Usually that's Raidrix, sometimes it's Basana, sometimes it's Magma 2, and all you need is just enough hit with the bless to do that area. And then you can put more points into strength if you're a knight, especially since Brandish Spear is going to be, I do believe it's going to be scaling off how much strength you have or something along those lines. So look into that too. But like I said, just make sure you guys do some testing on this Crazy server, figure out what you want to do. I wish I can give you advice about classes outside of Knight and Crusader, but I only really know those. I know Knight is probably going to go Bowling Bash with a 1-hand or 2-handed weapon. Bowling Bash does will do 4 hits with the two-handed sword. Or a lot of people are actually looking into Brandish because you got Broca and you got some really nasty ass fucking spears coming out of those castles that are going to be terrifying. Just to give you an example, speaking of the castle loots that's dropping from the weapons and the gear, they roll with enchants on them. So if you get a castle and it drops a Broca, let me tell you, if that thing has like 60 attack on it and then it has like 20% increased damage to neutral on top of the weapon already ignoring Demi-Human, you're gonna see knights that have stat gear running up 3, 2, 1 on your Land Protector or your Magnetic Earth and just brandish all at the same time, and most of your squad's gonna die. And it's only gonna get crazier. So you definitely also want to make sure you get those neutral gears so you can resist that damage. But then again, they probably will be using elemental converters to go through neutral. See, that's where my dilemma is. The neutral gear is worth a lot of money for G-Fist. However, when a knight comes up to you, the only thing that's gonna save you, an elemental armor might be the only thing that saves you. Like, or something that resists. But see, here's the problem. They can elemental convert so many different options you can't protect versus at all. So at the end of the day, if you have neutral, I kind of think neutral's worthless because when a knight comes up, he's going to Magnum Break and Brandish, or he can converter his damage. You know, if Brandish still maintains the elemental type, which I'm like 90% sure it does, and just come up and just brandish your squad. Now, Brandish, here's the thing. On the EMP, if there's no Land Protector, you just put up Pneuma, Brandish can't do shit. But Brandish is terrifying because on Land Protector, you can't Pneuma. So, I think most smart guilds are going to have half Bowling Bash and half Brandish, so that if they ever come into a situation where the Brandish can't get through, they'll go ahead and use Bowling Bash to do a lot of damage. Granted, you need to have a two-handed weapon in order to do that. It's going to be interesting to see how things go. I'm a Saxator or a Devotion Crusader. I sit in the back. So usually what I want is a high HP amount from all my gear because the people I'm sacking take damage. And I take their damage in the form of my HP. So it doesn't matter if I have like 80, resistance to neutral. If a monk G-Fist somebody who I'm targeting who doesn't have good gear, I'm going to take all that damage. So I've been favoring a lot of HP. With apples, I've been getting up to about 24k, and then if I can get the right setup of like 7% increased HP with HP on my weapon or item, get a little bit of a better, like a vitality or HP with triple favor card weapon or something like that. If I can get something that has like vitality, increase HP, and then put triple favor card in the weapon, get the armor, and just get my HP. Like I'm trying to really, trying to push to like 26, 27k, because that with the auto guard, it makes it so that if somebody does take a big G-Fist damage, hopefully I can have enough HP to survive it. If my bard is, doing the apple lute towards me and giving my HP up high. Speaking of WoW, it's been pretty interesting. We're kind of seeing like which are like the head top guilds and what is running stuff and who's in charge of what and what people are up to. The castles are going to be so much sought after, especially the ones that drop the high-end weapons, because like that's going to make a big difference in upcoming WoW. Broca and anything that ignores a defense of like Demi-Human, that's going to be terrifying. So expect people to be really fighting over for those castles, because it's going to come down to a knight fight, and whoever has the most knights and the properly geared knights and who can just basically time their attacks together and do a lot of damage and what have you. I advise, if you're a Devotion or Sacrifice Crusader, make sure you get auto guard maxed out, because that gives a 30% chance to block a Brandish, which will have like a second cooldown. It has a chance to block Bowling Bash. Just make sure, like, that's a really important skill, man, and you just gotta be on the lookout for that. And here's another thing as well too, I may actually have to respec, and I might put some points into defending aura, because the Brandish is gonna be painful. But if you have a Devotion Paladin sacking you or Crusader sacking you and they cast Defending Aura should work on the new Brandish because it is considered ranged, and that's a huge reduction. because it reduces range. It doesn't matter if it's elemental, whatever. That is a huge thing that definitely Crusaders definitely, you know, it's just, that might even be more serious than Auto Guard. We'll have to wait and see how bad the Knight Epidemic gets. But instead of taking those extra points to shield Boomerang, I noticed I don't really need the status or anything. I just need to focus on sacking. I really need to look into taking out those points in shield Boomerang, putting them all into defending aura. So that's what I'm going to look into this week with everything that's going on. I mean, that's pretty much about it. Like, there's a lot of other classes that are getting changes. I just, like I said, I really just focus on Knight and Crusader because I really feel like Knight and Crusaders is such an important part of like the damage dealing right now until Trans comes out, then Biochemist, and there's different things like that. Not saying that other classes are not important. That's just, you know, that's what I concern myself with when I've been playing those classes for a very long time. Outside of that, the last week patch notes, they added an NPC to exchange blank cards for April Fool's event. Blank cards will no longer drop from cards. St. Patrick's Day event, you can remove. They removed the option to remove snake skins for coins, but they're gonna make it so the St. Patrick's Day you gotta get it finished up, get the rest of your stuff, and that's it. I think they have it away so you can go and exchange it so you can clear them out your inventory. The old purple box, old blue box OCA, they are selling. I'm probably gonna sell all the ones I have just to make some money. Umbrella Field, Umbala. Some monsters were spawning in unreachable areas. Adjusted Guild Dungeons to have PvP enabled, that's important. Adjusted Guild Dungeons to drop loot table. I'm gonna actually try to farm up in Geffen GD for a hot minute because there's a certain monsters that drop certain gears that I want, and I want to get a hold of them, especially with the spear that it auto casts Pierce. That is amazing. But if you're going to use that to get the most effect out of it, you got to make sure you have enough dex on that, whatever character you're using, the auto attack. Probably, hopefully, preferably a Satyr. And that's going to be pretty cool. So I probably might use that on my, I don't know, man. I might use it on my Holy Cross Crusader. You see how the Pierce goes? I don't know. I'll figure it out. But that's going to be a pretty cool weapon, and it also ignores the defense of the Rager, so I think that might be my new weapon. Especially with the hit changes coming out, because then that won't be so bad. Moved old costume. We removed old costumes from the costume box. If you're in the costumes, everything. I really don't care for that. Added armor and chance to woe treasure armor drops. That's fucking amazing. Because like I said, now we can get some really nice armors outside of the woe castle. So it's going to be more important for guilds to try to get whatever little castles they can, so they can kind of, you know, sell it to make money and gear people up, or just help people gear it up, or make money, or whatever you want to do. But it's going to be very important to get those. Ending date for the Homeward Bound with the 50% experience and 25% drops. They're still going to decide when that's going to, you know, like, hey, are we going to keep it going? Or, you know, they haven't determined a date yet, so props to them for that. Frenzy Fields is fantastic. If you're not hunting there, you most definitely should be there. You should just stay in Frenzy Fields till you're 99. And I know that sounds psychotic because the experience is not that great, but who cares? You'll have a ton of drops and you'll make so much money. By the time you hit 99, you have a bunch of, like, legit big-ass, you know, sets of, Zenith. The only other thing I'm really interested in is to start hunting for Maya Purples, because that's going to be interesting when the first guild gets Maya Purple card. That's going to be very strong, because then you'll be able to see everybody on the screen. No one really has that yet, and there's been a lot of sneaky rogues walking around, you know, recalling behind people. And I mean, for the most part, you know, everything's shaping up to be pretty good content. Everybody got WoW to look forward to Saturday. Everybody can grind for it and build their characters. We got new skills coming out, so people are gonna retest and reset and do a lot of cool things. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm a little dark. I wish they wouldn't allow a skill reset and force people to make new characters. But, you know, a lot of those people are going to use those skill resets and say, I need a skill reset for my character because all the skills change, which might be granted, but I think a lot of people are going to do that and then just switch. You're going to see, like, all these weird not a high amount of sages and shit like that. Oh, my build changed, so I need a reset, and they're going to go 99 dex, 99 vit and shit. But, I mean, that's just how the game goes and all that good stuff. The only other thing, I mean, that I kind of wanted to talk about, it's nothing that serious. I remember somebody in the YouTube comment section, they asked, like, I guess why do I play in pay to win? And there's like a lot of assholes in there and stuff like that, or whatever. And, you know, no guild's perfect, but the one thing I will say simply is this: is just I'm more of the lines of like everybody's an asshole in RO, to a certain extent. I'd say about the reason why these servers have so many problems with bots and people being disrespectful and assholic behavior is just because people are just pieces of shit. I'm not saying all of them. I'd say about maybe 93% to 95% of all RO players are assholes. Now, if you're offended, I'm sorry, you might be an asshole. If you're not offended, then you know you're a nice person. You don't have nothing to worry about because you're in the category that's a good nice player. People love to shit talk. People like to shit post. People like to talk shit to one another. It makes guilds go crazy and it makes people want to fight each other. I'm just a guy who just likes to sit back, sacrifice, help out my allies, and get some nice gear. That's all WoW is to me. It's just money. I want money. I want gear. I can care less for the prestige of like being the best. It doesn't matter. I just want money, man. And so, you know, I just play with whatever guild. This is a mostly English-speaking guild. These guys, you know their stuff. They play these characters for a while. They're skilled players, or at least they follow orders well, and that's why I enjoy playing with them. I don't like playing with a lot of dysfunction or disorganization, so usually I just go to whatever is the top whatever said guilds and join one of them and just do my part, because I just want to make sure that, you know, when the gear starts dropping, I can make my character the best it can and then go around and just be a good support system like I have been. And, you know, so, I mean, like, you know, do what you gotta do. I'm not defending anybody saying nobody's not an asshole, because I know they are sometimes. Not just not some people, it might be in my guild, but every guild has, every top-end guild, they always have those set of people that are just assholes, man. And that's just how it is. And, you know, the thing you gotta do is just realize is that people are gonna do what they wanna do. Just play the game and enjoy your part of the game. I enjoy sacrificing and protecting my team and leveling up and making money. Other people might like be doing woe and shit talking, that sort of thing, but at this point the game's been so old, it's like no one should be surprised anymore. But with that being said, man, I appreciate you guys stopping by for this Ragnarok Transcendence number 8. I'll be streaming a lot of Final Fantasy VII Remake this week, and I'll fit in some more RO Transcendence because I really got to get back on the grind for a couple items here and there. But I got 3 like level 99 Crusaders, so I'm like good for a while. But I do need to play a little bit so I can maintain a good flow of money coming in. My money hustling has been quite low. I haven't been doing what I've been needing to do, and honestly, I could do a lot better instead of work dungeon and just tear it up and stuff like that, or at least farm some Raidricks or something. I'm really just waiting for Abyss, but I shouldn't wait for Abyss. That's the next content that we're expecting in the first dungeon, so we'll see how that goes. With the plus 20 to hit, though, it will make it a lot easier and more possible for people to have high decks and kill those dragons. I just want to really kill Hydra Lancer and that kind of stuff and start getting those headgears. But anyway, that's all for today. Hope you guys had a great day. Had a great Monday. I appreciate you guys always stopping in and checking out these videos. If you like the content that I put out, why not subscribe? If you like this video, why not get a like? And if you want to know when I post all my future stuff, why not just click that bell notification so you know the next time I post stuff. I do got a Final Fantasy guide coming out soon once I do my first clear of the game. We do have podcasts every Sunday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Every Monday we got a Ragnarok Transcendence update so you guys can see what's going on in the world of Ragnarok, so you don't have to waste time, you know, going through the forums and trying to figure out what's going on. You can just let me tell you what's been going on. Save yourself some time. It's only 15 to 30 minutes. Usually the videos run for, so. Anyways, I'm about to eat some steak, play some Final Fantasy, and then hopefully get my ass on some Ragnarok shit. Make sure you guys check your money on Wednesday if you're in America right now. They're handing out stimulus checks due to the pandemic, so look out for that. But yeah, man, outside of that, man, you guys have a great day. See you guys next week. As always, I'm your wonderful host, Debo, and I'll check you guys later. I'm out.